Hello, my name is Erika Geser-Engleitner. I'm a lecturer and researcher at the University of Applied Science Vorarlberg in Austria. My colleague Robert, you will see him later, and I were responsible for the content analysis of the national consultations with employees, employers, and decision makers in Austria, Denmark, Italy, and Romania. The national consultations were held between September and November 2020. The aim of the workshops was to gather inputs from different perspectives regarding the future challenges and skills needs in social field for the 2030 horizon. Content analysis. The research question was: what are the future challenges and skills needs in the social field for the 2030 horizon? What data we have chosen? 4 reports on national consultations with employees, employers and decision makers in Austria, Denmark, Italy and Romania. The consultations were held through focus groups and via online questionnaires. Which method have we chosen? The content analysis and using MaxQDA software. It is one of the most commonly used methods for analyzing qualitative data. Some words to the process. First, theory-based categories were deductively formed. Then, the transcribed materials was coded in a first path. In the next step, inductive categories were worked out from the material, analyzed, and presented in the form of a report. We used several theories. I would like to present only one here. The step a macro-environmental analysis. It's a useful framework with regard to future trends, challenges and needs in the social field for the horizon 2030. This is a commonly used strategy management and project planning framework for performing an environmental scan. The step analysis divides the forces that could influence the planning object into 4 types: sociodemographic, technological, economic and political. Now I want to show you the main results of the analysis. First, trends and challenges from the sociodemographic factors. First, how to read the illustrations. The numbers in the brackets indicate the number of text passages found. In my presentation, I will only deal with the most frequent mentions. The most frequently mentioned trends and challenges in this field are the individualization of society, which on the negative side often leads to the fragility of families and increasing loneliness and isolation. This trend seems to be reinforced by the digitalization process that is shifting human interaction into the vital world. The elderly care sector has been identified as a major future challenge, particularly in terms of the financial and human resources required to provide adequate care services. The next chart shows the technological factors. Unsurprisingly, digitalization is the most important technological trend by far. In addition to digitalization, the increasing influence of social media was also identified as a major trend. The major challenge identified by the participants in this field is the digital exclusion of the elderly and the poor. These are the losers of the digitalization. The next chart shows the trends and challenges belonging to economic factors. Clients of social organizations are affected by an increasing impoverishment that is starting to encroach over the middle classes. The second most frequently mentioned was increased role of private sector in the social field. The most mentioned challenge is the scarcity of resources. Now, the most frequently mentioned trends belonging to political factors. Social organizations operate in an environment that is heavily affected by public policy and often rely on public funding. In this context, a lack of common vision for the social sector between politics, civil society, and the private sector can be noted. The next chart shows the trends and challenges belonging to clients. Regarding clients, a growing complexity and diversity of clients is named. The client's psychological problems are named as a particular challenge. Social organizations should provide services that empower the clients and help them make their own decisions. Clients need more individual services instead of the standardized services. Now I come to my last illustration. This is a somewhat crowded illustration, I'm sorry about that. Social organizations are facing a trend of increasing bureaucratization of their work. In addition, their work is becoming increasingly specialized. The participants also note that the social sector is becoming increasingly important. The main challenge facing social organizations is insufficient funding and resources. Another important challenge is the shortage of the skilled labor, particularly in the elderly care sector. In addition, social organizations are faced with increasing expectations from employees. It is also a challenge for social organizations that society seems to make them responsible for solving all of its social problems. The workshop participants emphasized the need for social organizations to strengthen cooperation with one another, work more closely with the private sector, and engage in dialogue with stakeholders. Social organizations need to improve their organizational agility and show the stakeholders and the general public the impact of their work by highlighting the return on investment in the social field. They also need to improve their human resources management and make social work more attractive. These were the main future trends and challenges that we will face in the social field until 2030, according to the workshop results. My colleague Robert will now share with you the results of the workshops on the skills and competencies needed to meet the future challenges. Thank you for your attention, and I hand over to Robert.